Do you like bacon? Do you like kale? If so, you don't want to miss this recipe. Hi, I'm Travis, and you're watching Golden Blue BBQ. If you like kale, or you're like me and constantly bringing extra kale home from a competition over the weekend, then this is the recipe for you. Today we're going to make sauteed kale with bacon. This recipe is super simple, easy to make, and best of all, it's quick. So what we're going to use today is we're going to use some kale, some fine cut bacon, and some Boar's Night Out White Lightning double garlic butter. Now we're using the Boar's Night Out for simplicity. Most of us are going to have that on our shelves in our competition trailer or wherever. If you don't have that, feel free to just use regular butter, some garlic powder. Use whatever you got. This is just what we have, so that's what we're going to use. All right, so the first thing you're going to do, you're going to get your pan nice and hot. And just dump your bacon in. We're going to fry that bacon up, get as much of that grease out of it as we can. As you're cooking this bacon, the goal here is we want to render that fat in that bacon down as much as possible. The more grease we get off this bacon, the better this kale is going to turn out. So really render that bacon fat down. It's all right if your bacon starts to get a little crispy. In fact, the crispier the better, I think. So what we're going to do, we're going to put that crispy bacon on top of the kale at the end. It's almost going to be like bacon bits in with that kale. All right, so at this point, our bacon is pretty much right where we want it. It's nice, crispy. Most of that fat is rendered out of it. We got a good bit of grease in the bottom of this pan. So at this point, we're going to take a vessel of some sort, and go ahead and scoop that bacon right into that. Leave the grease in the pan. All right, once you got your bacon scooped out, just set that to the side. We're going to come back to that in just a few minutes. What you want to do, you want to get your kale, and beforehand you want to break your kale down, cut it up, clean it up, wash it real good. We cut our kale down into pretty good small size pieces here. That's just going to make it easier to cook. Plus it's already going to be bite sized, ready to eat. So do that beforehand. All right, once your oil's ready and your grease is up to temp, all you got left to do now is just go ahead and add your kale to the pan little by little. And when you add it, it'll start to pop. Be careful. Just go ahead and line that whole bottom of your pan with the kale. If you can't get it all in the pan, that's all right. I think that's about all our pan's going to take. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to throw a lid on top. I know this isn't the right size lid, but it'll help, just kind of help keep some of that heat in there. So what you're going to do, you're going to let this cook a little bit, and maybe in about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, we're going to come back and going to toss all that kale around. All right, it's been about a minute and a half, maybe a little bit longer, maybe 2 minutes. We're just going to take that lid off carefully. We're just going to kind of turn the kale. And you can see the difference as that kale cooks. Just look at the color difference there. I don't know if you can pick that up in the camera. But as that kale cooks, it puts off such a beautiful green color. And the fumes it puts off, the aroma, just smells so good. So I'm going to stir that a little bit. Pick up any pieces you drop on the table. And once you stir it, put the lid back up. Come back in a few more minutes and do the same thing. All right, it's been a few more minutes. Let's give it another toss. Just look at the color of that kale changed. It's now turned into a bright, vivid green. You can definitely tell it's starting to break down, starting to fry up real good. It almost kind of smells like broccoli almost to me. I don't know, maybe I'm weird. All right, now we're going to take some of this Boar's Night Out White Lightning double garlic butter. This stuff is really good. If you don't have it and you want to try it, go check out our friends over at boosterbbq.com. They have it there. You can order it right to your door. just a great rub. And like I said, the reason we're using this, it's got a good garlic flavor, a good butter flavor. It saves us from having to put garlic in it, you know, cut up onions and all that. So we're just going to hit it lightly on top of the kale right here, just a little bit. I'll put that lid back on, let it go for a few more minutes. We'll catch you in a minute. All right, it's been about another minute. We're going to hit this one more time. So this time we're going to add our bacon crumbles back in. And we're just going to mix that up with the bacon. Man, does that not look good? All right, for the last time, just a little bit more of this double garlic butter. Place the lid, one more minute. All right, it's been our final minute. At this point, we're going to give it one more toss and try it out. Cut the heat off here. If you're at a barbecue competition, there's no reason you can't fire up your charcoal grill or your rubber smoky mountain. If you cook on a drum, fire your drum up, fire your charcoal basket up. If you got a cast iron pan, do this in a cast iron pan. Man, but just look at this stuff though. It's amazing how that color of that kale just completely changed. All right, so at this point you want to go ahead and pull it off and plate it. We got this little pan right here. I'll pull some of that off. Man, would you all just look at that? Does that not look pretty? All right, we're gonna pull the rest of this off and give it a taste. All right, it's cooled down a little bit. Let's give it a taste test. Make sure we get some of this bacon in here, because let's face it, who doesn't love bacon? All right, got a good bite with some bacon. Let's try it. Oh yeah, that bacon cuts through there really good. I tell you, that Boar's Night Out White Lightning double garlic butter, man, that's the perfect complement to this kale. If you like kale, or you compete in competition barbecue, and like me always seem to have kale left over, do yourself a favor and try this recipe. You'll be glad you did. I really hope you enjoyed this quick, easy to do recipe for kale. And as we always say, get out there and smoke something. We'll catch you later.